Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Russia hits Ukraine with massive drone missile strikes. Over 600 drones in the past 24 hours. The US Commander in Chief just put out this important post on his platform. Give me a second here. Very interesting posting earlier from the US president regarding Ukraine, in which he states it is very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader's country. It's like a great team in sports that has a fantastic defense, but it is not allowed to play offense. There is no chance of winning. It is like that with Ukraine and Russia. Crooked and grossly incompetent Joey will not let Ukraine fight back. Only defend. Interesting times ahead. Stop. What do you mean, interesting times ahead? I'm sorry, guys, but that sounds like Don is saying, okay, now it's time to play offense. Donald is saying, we got the defense, and it's incredible. And the reason why he's saying it's incredible, because we supplying Ukraine with our equipments. That's why he's saying it's an incredible defense, because we're sending them our equipment. But the offense is terrible. But all that will change. Interesting times ahead. Is there going to be peace or destruction? We shall see. Alright, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you again for your support. What are your thoughts, guys? Interesting times ahead. I don't get it. Interesting time of what? Peace or war? The bear attacked Ukraine overnight with 614 drones. 614 drones. What's going on here? What is going on here? So Vladimir terms for peace. Donbass. No NATO. No Western troops. Vladimir Putin wants Ukraine to give up all of Donbass, meaning the eastern part of Ukraine. Renounced NATO membership and banned Western troops from entering the country. That's the security guarantee. In return, Moscow would freeze the front lines in Zaporizhia, Kherson, and even hand back small occupied areas in Kharkiv, Sumy, and other regions. Zelensky rejected the idea, calling withdrawal from the East a matter of survival, and stressing NATO is written into Ukraine's constitution. It's not looking good. What's going on with this one? Vladimir has reportedly doubled down on his previous demands for end to the ongoing invasion of Ukraine, demanding that Ukraine give up all of Donbass in eastern Ukraine, renounce ambition to join NATO, commit to neutrality, and keep Western troops out of the country. 3 sources familiar with top-level Kremlin thinking told Reuters. In exchange, the bear has agreed to freeze the front line. Alright, so it seems like there's no agreement yet. So let's see what's going on here. So last night, the bear dropped a hammer. And we did talk about it last night, but this is an update. Very important to talk about these updates. The bear launched 614 airstrike munition into Ukraine overnight into Thursday. The Air Force in Kiev reported, in what the country's foreign minister called a massive combined airstrike on targets around the country. Now it says here the Air Force said the Bear launched 574 drones and 40 missiles in its overnight strike, of which 546 drones and 31 missiles were intercepted or otherwise suppressed. Impacts were reported across 11 locations, the Air Force said. Contrary to all efforts to end the biblical war, the Bear undertook a massive combined airstrike on Crane overnight. You have this person said in a post to X saying that civilians and energy infrastructures were among the targets. One of the missiles struck a major sleeping giant electronic manufacturer in westernmost region, leading to serious damage and casualty. You know what? The foreign minister added of the strike in Mukanchevo, a city around 16 miles from the border with Hungary and 25 miles from the border with Slovakia. It says here, you have Zelensky said the choice of the target was very telling. And it seems like there's no ending to all this. It just is happening over and over and over again. It's really hard for Donald to stop this war. It's really hard for him to stop this biblical war. Donald keeps saying that he had a good talk with Vladimir and things are going to look better now. But every time when Donald says that, it's like the next day Putin just dropped the hammer like Major Look. It just, man. It was an ordinary civilian enterprise, an American investment, the president wrote on Telegram. They produced such familiar household item as coffee machines, and this is also a target for the Bear. Now, it seems like there is no effort from the world to stop this biblical war, Zelensky added. A response is needed to this. You hear that? A response is needed to this. There is still no signal from Moscow that they are really going to go into meaningful negotiation and end this biblical war. Pressure is needed. Strong sanctions, strong tariffs. Zelensky is letting Donald know, stop playing games, Donald. Stop. You got to do it now. Where's my poppy? Where's Joey? Local authorities said that at least 19 were impacted in the strike. Now it says here, this is not the first time, this is not the first Russian strike on sleeping giant businesses in Crane. And that's a big warning there. I mean, the Bear just hit sleeping giant businesses. That is a big warning. I mean, that's the first time I hear something like that. Out of 3.5 years making all these breaking news of Crane versus the Bear, that's the first time I'm hearing sleeping giant businesses getting hit. That's got to be some kind of a clear message to the Donald. If you're going to come to me, Donald, don't be bringing this lousy peace agreement stuff. I'm not going to give up territories. And you're not going to be bringing your NATO into Crane. This is not the first of the Bear strike on sleeping giant businesses in Crane. After strikes on boring offices in Kiev earlier this year and other strikes. In the western city of Lviv, around 40 miles east of the Polish border, at least one had been out and 3 injured by the Bear strike. Man, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. How do you stop this? How do you stop this biblical war? How do you get these two to come to an agreement? How do you get Crane and Russia to come to 100% agreement? And it's like Donald said, this is Joe. He really messed everything up. It's him. I mean, at this point, should we just wash our hands and just go? And say, look, you guys deal with it. It's coming to a point that we're about to be dragged into this and put a stop to it by going one-on-one with the bear, and that would be WWE3, something that Donald said that he's not going to take us. The bear latest strike was its largest since July 12, according to data published by Crane's Air Force and analysts by the news, and breaks with the trend so far in August of smaller scale nightly barrages when compared to figures from June and July. Wednesday night's strike was only the fourth of the biblical war to date in which the number of the Bear drones launched exceeded 500, according to the Ukrainian Air Force's data. The strikes again prompted the scrambling of NATO aircraft in Poland. Swedish Air Force JAS 39 Gripen fighters were among the resources deployed. Poland's operational command wrote in a post to X, in connection with the activity of long-range aviation of the Bear Federation conducting strike on Ukrainian territory, including with the use of hypersonic aircraft of the Polish Air Force and Allied aviation are operating in Polish airspace, the command wrote. Around 3 hours later, the command reported a reduction in the level of threat and a return to the standard operational activities. Give me a second here, guys. It says here, look at that. The Bear Defense Ministry, meanwhile, said its forces downed at least 71 Ukrainian drones overnight and Thursday. So you have the Voronezh region governor, Alexander, reported on Telegram that an energy facility was damaged by a falling drone and that the strike caused delays to rail services in the region. The state-run TASS news agency cited the Bear Atomic Energy Agency as reporting that one unit at the Novovoronezh nuclear power plant was temporarily disconnected from the grid. In Rostov region, the governor, Juri, said a fire broke out at an industrial enterprise after a drone strike. So far, no one has been impacted. Emergency services are on the scene, Slosar wrote. Wow. So you got both sides really going at it. So the Bear Oil Refinery got hit. And Crane, well, the Bear is striking back with over 600 drones and missiles. Man, things are not looking good. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second, guys. If you can, give this video a like, a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Whoa. 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, this was posted. Ooh. What's going on here? Overnight, during last night of the Bear drone and missile strike against Crane, several missiles struck an electronic factory within Mukanchenvo and a Zakarpattia Oblast of Western Crane, which is owned by Flex Ltd, an American. Oh, this is the one, American manufacturing, the business, the one that we just talked about. It's a multinational manufacturing company headquartered in Austin, Texas. Wow, the strike, which occurred less than 20 miles from the border with both Hungary and Slovakia, resulted in impacted to at least 15 of the 600 workers at Flex. This is one of the sleeping giant businesses. The bear strike on Sleeping Giant owned factory in Western Crane exposes the catastrophic failure of prior administration to deter aggression. While the U.S. Commander-in-Chief diplomatic push aims to end this conflict without sacrificing the Sleeping Giant boots, the real scandal is Washington's addiction to funding foreign entanglements instead of securing our own borders. Flex Ltd. proximity to NATO border raises question. Why are the Sleeping Giant investment left vulnerable in conflict zones? While I'm gonna skip that name, burn taxpayer cash on the global projects. Every dollar spent patching Crane's wounds is stolen from rebuilding Sleeping Giant's infrastructure. Time to audit every cent sent overseas and demand allies step up or pay up. Someone said the bear just hit way too close to NATO doorstep. Someone said Donald is not going to like that. That's why Donald left the message saying that we have, again, Crane has defense, great defense, but no offense. There's going to be interesting times ahead. I guess Donald is going to say enough is enough. We're going to play offense now. You guys know what offense is. Eventually, Crane is going to fire towards the bear. Possibly NATO too. When spoken of peace and security, or peace and safety, and when Donald said that don't worry, WWE3 it's not going to happen, I made a video last night. He speaks way too soon. Because the Bible says, when you've spoken of peace and safety, the sudden destruction shall follow. Thank you so much for watching, guys. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.